In this video, I'm going to show you how to actually get warm leads and clients on autopilot from social media without even spending $1. This video that you're seeing is a full keynote of a presentation that I made at a private mastermind in Las Vegas. And I got permission to share this full video with you. So this is called the Social Media Money Machine, and I show you step by step on how to actually get the leads and clients if you do this in just 5 minutes a day from social media. Enjoy.
Today I want to teach you about how you can use social media as a money machine. Does that sound good? Hey, has anyone ever seen me actually speak in the past before? Like half of us? Okay, thank you. Hey, my name is Sharon. I get a little excited out here. I'm going to yell because I learned English is my second language, and I learned to speak English by listening to Tony Robbins' speaking tapes, right? And Colton will tell you that Tony doesn't know anything apart from yelling. So all I know has to do is how to yell, right? So I got to tell you a quick story. The story is, before I go, you guys, you should grab these. I guarantee you'll need all these slides. So please grab them. And there's no email, there's nothing, there's no Instagram. You should get the slides right away. So as soon as you grab it and you have the slides, can someone tell me that they got it? That way I'll know it works. Got it? Slides work? Cool. Awesome. This way you have it. I'll have that QR code again. Oh, you're like, get out of the way, people. Awesome. I want to make sure you have it because I'm going to go fast. Okay, we good? Okay, we're good. So I live in Laguna Beach, California, and right beside where we live, there is this little theme park called Disneyland. Okay? Anyone been to Disneyland? Okay, we go to Disneyland all the time. This is my daughter, Laura. She's 6 years old. And we go to Disneyland all the time. And did you know something? I want to give you a quick stat. Did you know that Disneyland Orlando, right? Anyone been to Disneyland Orlando? Yeah. Disneyland Orlando makes more money per head than Las Vegas. Think about this for a second. Disneyland Orlando makes more money per head than Las Vegas. Disneyland does not have booze. It does not have, I'm thinking like, how do I say pole, but I didn't know how to say it. It does not have shows. It does not have alcohol, nothing. All that Disneyland has is what? A mouse. A mouse. This one mouse makes them more money than all of Vegas. Like, isn't that wild? But here's the crazy part. When we're on social media, you know who we're competing with? We're competing with this guy. We're competing with the mouse. He has 2.9 million followers. This is who we're competing with. You know who else we're competing with? We're competing with your favorite politicians. This can get a little racy, right? You're competing with your favorite celebrities. You're competing with your favorite influencers, Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins. You're competing with the memes of the world, right? This is like old news now, which is wild. You're competing with Elon taking a sink out. Like, this is what you're competing with, right? So we need to have a strategy. You're still competing with, like, this was the pandemic thing, like offering under list. You can do this now, by the way. You understand that, right? You can offer under list without worrying about it. And I think the struggle is real, and I want to tell you about, if you don't follow me on social, this is not a plea to do any of that. But the crazy part is, we used to make a lot of money exclusively on social media without selling anything on the front end. So if you look at any of my social media stuff, right, I'm not selling anything. So it's all content. But all of it stopped, and I want to show you what happened. So this was our revenue and views that just stopped. And something not good happened. And I didn't know what. If this happened to your business, would that be bad? Yes, that would not be bad. That would not be good. So my team was like, we need to do something. So we did something, and I want to show you what happened. What we did was, you can't see the screen, what we did was, right in January of last year, everything started to pick back up. Okay? And today I want to show you one thing. Today I want to show you what happened at that point. Because I get to see how it all broke down and how it all got better. And I'm going to give you this exact playbook on how we make significant amount of money doing this, and I want to give you this playbook right now. Would that be okay? Okay, here's the cool part about this. You don't have to spend any money. This doesn't take a lot of time, maybe 3 to 5 minutes a day, because we ran all of this with no extra resources. And just doing this on autopilot, I think will help you a lot. You don't need new skills. You don't need to make videos. You don't need to do any of that if you just watch this. You're like, Sharon, come on, man. That seems like a pretty wild promise. Hands still work? Okay, just checking. Is it good so far? Can I keep going? Okay. All right. So this is the social media money machine. This is what the biggest influencers in the world do. I call this the underground secrets that the most influencers use. And I'm actually going to teach you how to do it. Cool? So here's what we're going to do. How many of you feel like, hey, Sharon, I have a small audience. I have a small audience. Can't monetize this. Like 4 of us. How many of you feel like you have a small audience? Thank you. I'm going to show you how to monetize a small audience today. Cool? So the 3 things I'm going to give you are these. Number 1, I'm going to give you the one metric that you need to track. How many times you're like, I got more views, but I didn't get likes. I got likes, but I didn't get shares. I got shares, but I didn't get DMs. I got DMs, but Sharon got more views. I suck. We compare so much, don't we? Right? So much. So I'm going to give you the one metric that is right for you, right? Then I'm going to give you a few scripts that you can use. When I say scripts, I give you some frameworks that you can use because you're like, yeah, that's not my jam, and that's okay. And I'm going to give you the exact daily playbook to use. Good? Okay, let's jam on this one. So first, whenever I like to think about a playbook, I think about like, what are the problems? So if you don't agree with me on these problems, you will not agree with me on the solutions. Okay? Because otherwise, you don't agree, right? So here are the problems. Problem number 1, oh my gosh, I got so much to do. Well, have you ever thought that way? Yes. Number 2, oh my gosh, there's not enough time. And oh my gosh, is this going to give me any ROI? I'm going to get a videographer. I'm going to write content. I post this. Has anything ever happened? This is so frustrating. Has that thought ever crossed your mind at least once? Just nod. You don't need to raise your hand. Just nod, right? So I want to give you a way in which that you don't feel like this happens. You don't feel like, does it even matter? At least one point in time in our social media world, we've thought, does it even matter? Just nod if that's ever been true. Does it even matter? Okay? So here's the answer. The answer is, and the opportunity is, I'm going to show you like a recipe book exactly what to do. Number 2, I'm going to show you how to do it in under 5 minutes every single day. And number 3, I'm going to show you how it gives you guaranteed ROI every single time. Good for a promise? Okay, here we go. So there's 3 things you need to know. You should have these slides, but let me tell you the 3 things you need to know. Number 1, we've got to do something called priming the algorithm, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. All right? Number 2, you're going to activate the audience, because just because you prime the algorithm, you've got to activate the audience. You can do this really quickly. And number 3, I'm going to give you all the answers. You're going to start conversations. You have to memorize these 3 things. I got to do something to prime the algorithm. I got to do something to activate the audience. And I got to do something to start conversations. Because at the end of the day, all conversion happens in conversation. No one is going to want to list a home with you, buy a home from you, if they don't have a conversation. Would you kind of broadly agree with that? Right? If we don't have conversations, nothing actually is going to happen. So if that's the case, I'm going to give you 5 key strategies. Strategy number 1. All right? I want to show you how to create rapid engagement. Let me blow through this pyramid really quick. And just so you have this, you already have this in your notes, but I'm going to take you through this. All right, here's the first one. Stories. Instagram stories, Facebook stories, etc. I will tell you right now, if you don't, I'll blow this whole thing out. So take a picture in 10 seconds, ma'am. Take a picture in 10 seconds. Stories. If you don't do stories, you might as well get off social media. I'm dead serious. Because stories are the actual heartbeat of social media. The algorithms favor stories more than anything else. And I'm going to show you how to do it without actually having to stress out doing it. How many of you like kind of sort of do stories? Kind of sort of do stories. So about half of the room. Okay, cool. So I'm not joking. I will tell you what happened. We stopped doing stories for 30 days because I didn't believe this. Entire engagement went almost to 0. I didn't change anything else. I just stopped stories. And almost every engagement went to 0. Turned it back on in a few days, everything came right back up. Right? So stories are number 1. Stories allow you to prime the algorithm. This is the heartbeat of social media. I'll take you to the post in a second. So the posts are how to activate audience. And I want to take you through this. How many of you sometimes are like, should I like this post? Should I comment on this post? Should I share this post? It is a dilemma. We're like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to keep scrolling, right? If you've noticed, by the way, have you noticed this? Have you noticed fewer likes on your posts? It is pervasive. Do you know why? Because people are damn lazy and they don't want to do a double click to like anymore. I am dead serious. How many of you have looked at a post and been like, oh, that's cool, and kept going? All of us, right? And everyone else is doing the same exact thing. So don't worry about it if people are not liking your stuff. That's why we use metrics that we can actually track, right? So have you actually liked something and seen it's good but did not press like? Just give me a nod, right? They are doing the same thing to us, right? Yes, exactly. So suddenly you're like, I have 200 likes, I got 2 now. This sucks. This is terrible, right? So let me give you a little formula. If you want to acknowledge somebody, hey, Sharon, that's a good post. I want to acknowledge you. Like. Okay? If you want to connect with somebody, you can comment, because you can be darn sure that everyone, with the fewest comments these days, everyone's reading comments, right? And if you actually want to promote somebody, hey, Joe did a great post. You want to promote the event. You share it. Joe's like, oh my gosh, Sue, thank you so much for sharing that. Here's a formula I use. If I want to acknowledge somebody, I like. If I want to connect with somebody, I comment. And if I want to promote somebody, I share. That way, when I'm looking at a post, I know very quickly what to do, so I don't spend 45 minutes like trying to decide what I'm doing with this post. Good so far? That's from an understanding perspective? Okay, cool. Here's the last one. I'm going to give you the entire premise of the thing. The idea is your job right now is to start DMs. If you don't start DMs, you might as well get off social media. I really mean this. Just posting stuff, having great views, having great engagement, having whatever is totally useless if you cannot start direct messages. DMs are the beginning of the conversation. Everything that we do is entirely focused on doing one thing, which is driving more DMs. No DMs, no money, because all conversion happens in conversation. Cool? How many of you have started DMs over the last couple of weeks on social? Cool, awesome. Here's the other reason why. Once you start a DM, you can stay on it, which is really good, and I can show you how to transfer them off in a second, but wanted you to know that, all right? All right, let's go to number 2. Stories win the game. I'm going to give you some very quick, easy way on how to win the game with stories. Here's what they are. Easiest way. If you make a post, just share it in your stories. Like, don't have to do extra. I just want your stories to always be warm. Okay, good. If you see someone else's post, share it in the stories. You just want your stories to always be warm. Am I making sense? Right? If you just want someone in your story, you just want your stories live all the time. There has to be stuff in your stories all the time. Okay? It can be your post shared. It can be someone else's post shared. It can be like, I'm here. It doesn't matter. We just need to warm up stories. No stories, no social. Your account will die. I'm dead serious, right? Just try it for, like, take 2 days where you don't post on stories. Your account, all the engagement will drop. Okay? I'm sorry. I'm going to go through this really quick. So backstage pass, I talk about making grandma proud. Making grandma proud is, let's say you're doing something, the mundane conversations that we have with grandma, that's what stories are for. Like, your cheeseburger that you ate for lunch does not belong on your feed. It belongs in your stories. You have beautiful latte art that someone made that belongs in your stories, not in your posts, right? Anything that you don't want preserved in perpetuity should be in your stories, not in your posts. Good? All right, last one. If you are using stories, the more you use tools like stickers, etc., I know you think it's cute and it's like weird, but the more you do it, the more the algorithm likes you. Right? That's just what it is. All right, here we go. Posts that grease the skids, I want to take you through this. If you were not paying any attention, this would be a good time to pay attention. Okay, this would be a good time. There's only 3 types of posts, and I'm going to give you exactly what they are. They're already in your PDF. There are 3 types of posts, and this is what actually going to get you going, right? I've talked about a little bit about this before. There are 3 types of posts. There's the tide riser, the overachiever, and the hand raiser. The tide riser. Let me take you through the tide riser first. This is the tide riser. What is one thing that you do when you get stressed? Tide riser posts are dumb. They are dumb, right? The goal is to do what? Is to just get engagement. Dumb stuff gets more engagement than smart stuff. I'm telling you right now. You know why? Because when someone is looking at social media, they're not paying attention. And the easiest dumb things they will pay more attention to. The entire job of a tide riser is to warm up your account. You can't post a just listed beautiful Matterport video and then say, why I only get 3 views on that? Because your account's not warm. You got to warm up. You got to warm up the tide. You got to rise the tide. And so the dumber stuff you post, the easier it is and the more people can comment. Take every comment close to 100, like multiply it by 100. That's how much interaction you're getting. I'll give you an example. This guy says, hey, what is one thing you do and gets you stressed out? I stop talking. Doesn't matter. I don't care what he says. I don't care if I get hate. I got 81 comments in 1 hour on Facebook. It's crazy, but it warms up my account. Our job is to do whatever it takes to warm up the account. After that, we post anything important. You don't post important stuff and then assume that it's going to get traction. Give you a second example to this. It's hard to read. I posted this. It says, do you think people judge you based on the type of car you drive? I got 104 comments in 24 hours. My buddy did the same exact post and he changed it. And he says, what does the car you drive say about you? It doesn't matter. It's dumb. He got 76 comments 6 hours later. It doesn't matter. Every time you see posts that have a lot of comments, you should screenshot and put that on your page because it warms up your account for you. It's really, really powerful. I know it sounds dumb, but if you don't do this, everything else that you post is useless. Okay? The tide riser is really important. Now I'm going to give you the overachiever. After you post the tide riser, this is an overachiever. This is somebody that wants attention. Okay? Who here owns an Airbnb? What am I trying to do? I'm trying to get somebody to raise their hands. And what does this guy say? I just bought one yesterday. Wouldn't you want to know who in your Facebook feed actually is an investor? You do. That's why this is important, right? You don't want a lot of people. You just want the right people to raise their hands on this one. Okay, this is the second type of post, which is the overachiever. Let me give you the last one. Have you heard this saying, you're only one funnel away? That is dumb. If you Google a funnel, it looks like this. Do you want this? Apart from Spring and Joe, very few people have this. This stuff, goes visitor, becomes a lead, becomes an MQL, becomes an SQL, becomes a customer, becomes a are you kidding me? Most of us, we have agents in the marketplace that don't even know how to hit mute on their cell phones. It is crazy. This is what you want, you want to do a funnel? It is insane, right? This, bad, don't do this. Do not do this, right? I'm going to give you a different funnel. I'm going to call it the social funnel. So here's what the social funnel looks like. The social funnel I'm going to tell you about has no funnel software. No ClickFunnels, no landing pages. It has no landing pages. It has no Zapier. How many of you love Zapier? No. It has no CRM automation, no ads or copy or retargeting, no email sequences, none of those. You don't want any of this stuff. Do you want more complexity in your business? No, right? What do you want? You want something really simple. This is what I want to show you. This is the social funnel. You want to make a post, you want to get some comments, and you want to start DMs. This is the formula. This is how you print money, right? This. Make a post, get comments. Now, it's easier said than done because you can't just post anything random and get comments. Would you agree, right? And it has to be of some value. So let me give you some examples. This is a hand raiser. The hand raiser says, I just put together, this is from my friend Aaron Bauer. I just put together 28 of my best performing marketing emails for our platinum members. Would you like a copy? If you're the target audience of this, you would say yes, right? He's got 84 comments, and here's what it says. Yes, you can't see this below, and it says, just sent you a DM with the details. What is he doing? Created a post, got comments, started DMs, right? Give you a couple more examples. This is really good, and I'm doing this for a reason. This guy posted this on Jan 25th, a year ago. It has 395 comments, right? It says, I just created a brand new training that teaches and actually demonstrates my 5-step question framework. Who wants a copy? Right? Same exact thing. Yes, please. Sent you a DM. Same exact thing here. Free download. How can you repurpose content and get new clients? Do you want the link? Yes, please. Sent your DM. Create a post, get comments, start DMs. If you don't do this, what is the entire point of even doing the post? No point. We get all these metrics in mind saying we put it up, did someone like it, did someone share it? Nobody cares. There's only one metric in mind. Did I start a DM or not? Get very, very clear about that. right? Super, super important. If once we're done today, here's what I want you to do. I want you to come over to me and say, Sharon, show me your DMs. I will pull out my Instagram and I will I'll show you my DMs. I check my DMs every couple of hours. I probably on a daily basis, we get what, Stephen, 200 to 300 DMs. There's a reason for that. Because all those 200 to 300 start conversations. And with conversations, you get conversions. Good? Great. Okay. Oh, you may ask, all right, Sharon, like, how does this apply to real estate? So the reason I put these two up was for you to understand these two scripts. I just created blank. I just created the 4-step process on what it takes to buy a home in Nevada right now. Who wants a copy? Or free download the four mistakes that buyers make when they buy an investment property. Use the same template or the framework. I just created blank, free download blank. Who wants a copy? Super simple. By the way, it does not have to be fancy. The easier it is, the better results you'll get. It doesn't have to be a glossy brochure. It doesn't have to be any of that. It's just one pager with a bunch of questions. It'll work. You do not care what the document is. All you want is to start a DM. Good? Give me a nod or something. Maybe a smile. Okay, cool. Don't wink at me, but like smile is fine. Okay, I appreciate the wink too. So last two parts of this puzzle. DMs don't sell houses. Okay? Do you know why? DMs is a casual platform. You need to be on a serious platform. You're not going to send DocuSign on a DM. Right? So our job is to get all the DMs and transfer them into some serious platform, either a Zoom or a phone call or email, right? And the way you do that, you don't do it right away. When you start going back and forth in conversation and the questions get weird, you're like, hey, can I just call you for 2 minutes? This may be way easier. Or do you have your email? I can just send you some information directly. You want to transfer them from DM to a serious platform because all serious conversations will happen on the serious platform. You're not going to sell a house or set an appointment on DM. It's weird. It's strange. The sooner you can transfer, the better. So if you took my funnel, post something, get comments, start DM, transfer. Okay? Good so far? All right. You may be thinking, all right, Sharon, give me some things that I can actually use so that I don't have to come up with all these posts. You're thinking, just nod if you're thinking that a little bit. Okay. Let me give you some examples. Let's play with these examples for a second. Tide Riser. Who gets a lot of emails from realtors? Like, I'll go through a bunch of these, right? People love this stuff. Tide Riser. True or false? Hitler owned a Hollywood mansion. True or false? True, which I did not know, by the way, which is very interesting, right? True or false? The U.S. bought Alaska from Russia. Here's the crazy part. I do not care what this topic is. I just want them to start commenting on this stuff, right? What is the highest mortgage rate you've ever seen? You've seen this, and you've seen some versions of this. This is good. This is my memoji, which is good. Anything with a rubber ducky does good, by the way, just so you know. Right? Anything with a rubber ducky does good. The Overachiever, we talked about this. Who owns an Airbnb? This was a good one. Unlimited budget. What is your first home renovation project? I don't care. I just want a hand raiser. Oh, we've been thinking about it. We want to do this. And then you can now reach out to them and start a DM conversation. Right? Who is investing in apartments or multifamily? Oh, I just bought this. I just bought that. I bought a duplex. I bought a fourplex. People who are in your database right now, who are your clients, who are your family, are investing in stuff in real estate that you don't know about. I am not joking. I am dead serious. I have a family. We run a multifamily company. My cousin is buying multifamily next door to me. I'm like, bro, I bought 1,000 units last year. He's like, you did? It gets crazy. So you have to do stuff like this, right? This is a good one. Have you ever flipped a home? You'll get comments, not a lot, but you'll get enough. Which real estate app do you use the most? You actually get some good comments on that one. So what I did, I put all of these on one page, and you should have them, and you can mix and match and use them. Okay? But here's the issue. Don't be that guy or gal. Have you ever been to a conference and they say, make a post on Facebook that says, what was the lowest interest rate you've ever gotten? And then 20 minutes later, you look on your Facebook feed, and 4,000 people have posted that on Facebook. I'm telling you, you can do that, but just pick one of these so it's not all the same. Is that fair? That way they're not like, oh, Sharon said this, and now everyone has, like, just not do that, all right? So, good. How many of you may consider using one of these at some point? Okay, awesome. Thank you. All right, so prime the algorithm, slide into DMs, and transfer them out, all right? So, why is this all so important right now? I have one more slide. Why is this all so important right now? There's a whole generational change as to how we're working on things. And this brings me to this one 10-second story I want to share with you. And this is, have you ever seen an elephant and it has its little rope tied to a peg? Have you ever seen this? Like, doesn't that look weird? Elephant. You think he can break that peg. Why doesn't he do that? Right? You know, if you don't know the story, when elephants are babies, they train them this way. They put a little rope on their legs and put them to a peg, and they can't leave. And so when an elephant grows to become an adult, it realizes, it thinks that it's still a baby, and it never forgets. That's where the saying, an elephant never forgets, come from. Right? And because of that, an elephant will never pull against this peg. And this concept is called learned helplessness. Learned helplessness. And I will tell you that we are all victims of learned helplessness. Some random person 20 years ago taught us how to do a listing appointment, and we still do the same exact thing today. That person 20 years ago was good, but like the world has changed, right? Some random person, all of our clients are on social media right now, but we have not, they've evolving much faster than us. So the very reason all of you are here is so awesome, because I will tell you, let this not be you. Let this not be me. There are things in our past that we need to leave behind in some way.